right,
This
everybody. Looks like
conference
we're
will
going to get.
now be recorded.
Hello, everybody. We're going to get started now. I want to welcome you to another Marquee 360 webcast. Today, we're going to show you how Microsoft Teams can be used for integration and collaboration on projects. All attendees are muted, so if you want to ask a question, please utilize the chat feature on the right-hand side. My name is Mike, and I'm a productivity specialist here at Marquee 360. I also have Jarrell Lugo, who is our solution specialist, and will be demonstrating the solution. I'll be sending out a recording of the presentation, so no worries if you guys get pulled away. So, Marquee 360 is a Microsoft partner that helps companies with the digital transformation of business applications in as little time as possible. At Marquee 360, we aim to help businesses understand and navigate the Microsoft 365 platform for digital transformation. So our services include cloud migrations, project, SharePoint, Power Apps, and Teams. Now, the Power Platform, including Power Apps, is going to include Microsoft Flow, Power BI, also with Microsoft 365 services that include your SharePoint, Project Online, and Teams, which we'll be discussing today. Okay, now our team at Marquee 360, we have PPM architects, Power Platform solution specialists, BI architects, developers, project managers, business analysts, quality assurance, and support. Also, we do have a suite of Microsoft 365 workshops. Those workshops include Power Apps, Power BI, Microsoft Flow, and Teams. And these workshops can range anywhere from 3 to 10 days. Also, remember to ask us about our eligibility and your eligibility for planning days that can be used toward these workshops. I'll now hand it off to Jarrell Lugo. Jarrell?
Hey, Mike, thank you for that introduction. So I want to welcome everybody to this webcast. Today we'll be discussing Microsoft Teams. What is it? How can it benefit your organization? I'm going to go through a few slides, and then we'll do some demonstrating of the application itself. It's just an overview of the agenda of what we're going to cover. Desktop, mobile clients, utilizing chat, creating teams, creating channels within Teams, and also I'll show you how to create tabs within those channels. We have time, we'll talk about the Drive usage, which is some use cases and basically scenarios of how Microsoft Teams can benefit you in your organization, and the demo. So today, compared to 5 years ago, the majority of employees were basically in at least one team per an organization. Today now, it's estimated that you're participating in at least 2 teams in your organization. For an example, I used to be in the Air Force, and with that, I was part of the building security unit at the headquarters where I was working at, and then I also was part of the support agreement organizational factor for the office. So basically, we just reviewed support agreements. But those were 2 teams that I was part of back then. That was probably back in 2012 and 13. So today now, I mean, teams have basically what the groups that you're involved in has evolved throughout the years from the way technology has grown and evolved. You can be a part of an internal team, just internally within your organization. You can be part of an external team, part of the team that's associated with your public school system or city council. And at times, both of those can intertwine to each other, so you can have internal and external team members. Today's teams were geographically located all throughout the world. Just this morning, I was working with a colleague in India. So it's very important that we have tools and applications and resources that we utilize to basically establish our collaboration and our time together to accomplish tasks. So what is Microsoft Teams? Microsoft Teams is basically an application that allows you to integrate and collaborate with your colleagues within your organization and also individuals outside your organization. Microsoft Teams gives you a workspace to basically communicate, chat, set up meetings, establish files and documents. Microsoft Teams sits on top of the Office 365 platform. So if you already have an Office 365 account, you have access to Microsoft Teams. So basically, what I would think of Microsoft Teams is take a scenario analogy that you have SharePoint, and SharePoint was married up to Skype for Business. And if two of those applications were able to have children, you would have Microsoft Teams. Basically, with the collaboration effort, you can document all your resources, your events, your meetings. You can have all that recorded within and saved within Teams, and then you can continue to go back. Teams has a persistent living thread of the information and the chats that you basically participate in. So you're never going to lose that history. So let's say today we had a Teams meeting, and we utilized chat through Teams. You can go and utilize that information a year from now if you wanted to catch somebody, if they had promised your organization a certain item, or they had told you that they were going to do a certain task for you. All that history is recorded and saved within Teams. So Teams basically allows you to utilize a URL to basically send invites. So once you create a team, you can add people or add members to that team. And then once those members are added, an email will be sent with a URL, and then they'll basically get that email, click on the URL, and they'll have access straight into Teams. They'll be prompt to download the Teams desktop application, or you can just utilize Teams straight through your web browser. Pretty cool stuff here. So next I'm going to go into a little bit more of chat for Teams, Teams being a hub for teamwork, and then basically the way you can customize Teams. And then towards the end of the slides, I'm going to discuss the security features of Teams. So as I mentioned, Teams is a threaded, persistent chat. Everything that you speak about, everything you type out through the IM factor, the IM chat factor, that everything that you basically write to each other, type, all that's documented and all that history is saved. It's visible to everybody who's a participant of that team. So remember that. You wouldn't want to type something that was complaining about a coworker who also is involved in that team. Basically, the key word here is collaboration, and basically motivating each other to accomplish a task, a project at hand. With Teams, you can also have one-on-one private chats. So basically, you can initiate a one-on-one if you wanted to talk to somebody about a certain vendor or a certain contract entity, and you wanted to keep it a little more private, then those capabilities are available within Microsoft Teams. As you can see here on the screen, this individual is a part of 3 teams: Northwind Traders, Designers, and Fourth Coffee. So he can easily navigate between those 3 teams that he's associated with. Also, another great option within Teams is that you can send emojis, stickers, and GIFs. I can demonstrate that during the demo. It's basically just to bring up morale. So, if somebody did a great job on a meeting or facilitating or in a document, you can send them an emoji saying, "Hey, great job, thumbs up, proud of you." Email integration is a big factor with Microsoft Teams. So because Microsoft Teams is part of the Office 365 platform, email, your Outlook per se, is tied to the 365 platform. So basically, all your features within Outlook are tied to Microsoft Teams. So if you create a meeting invite within Microsoft Teams, it'll be basically recorded and documented on your calendar on Outlook. And also, when you do a search for somebody or you add an individual within Microsoft Teams, that information is being pulled through your GAL, your global address list that's associated with your organization. So here, there's a lot of an integration between all these applications that Microsoft has created. And the goal here is to basically make you more able to create and establish better business processes and accomplish your tasks. Another factor is that you can access Microsoft Teams from any mobile device, Android, iOS, Windows Phone. All you got to do is go into that market store for those products and basically just download the Microsoft Teams app from there. And it's free, so no issues about that. And then once you download it, you use your Office 365 credentials to log in, and you'll be able to see all the teams that you're associated with on your phone or your tablet. So I'm going to jump into a quick demo since we just covered that. So here's my Microsoft Teams homepage. I'm going to go through some of the interface here just to give you some knowledge on what's here and what's available. Activities. So here on the left hand, this is basically all your function items associated with Microsoft Teams to navigate. The first column is activities. You can see here that these were some of the activities that me and my colleagues were working on this morning. Chat's the next item down. Here are a bunch of chats that I've been a part of for the past couple months. Most recent here with the Pika. And basically, if you just want to start a new chat, I could highlight her name and then just start typing here, send her a message, and I'll be demonstrating that later when I create a team between me and the Pika. Next tab down is Teams. So these are all the teams that I'm associated with. Marketing Internal, PPM Projects, Training, Marquee 360 Development Team, Work Ready, etc. So I'll click on a team, Marketing Internal. You'll see at every team, once you create it, which I'll be doing in a few minutes, but every team automatically gets a general tab. And then you can create the tabs underneath that. So next tab down is meetings. So basically here are the meetings that I've been a part of lately. It's really easy interface to understand and comprehend. And here's a cool feature, calls. So basically, if I wanted to call somebody, it basically just dial a number. You can call anybody in the world who has a phone number. It's associated with your Skype for Business account. So from there, you can basically contact your colleagues, contact a vendor, a contractor. Great stuff here. So, also has your contacts, history, and voicemails. Next tab down is files. So basically you can see all the files that I've been working on or I've uploaded to Teams. And this ellipses here is to add other applications. You can also go to the store, Microsoft Teams store. So basically, this store here gives you access to apps and services. You can create your own. Let's say, for example, you want to associate a flow with a Microsoft team. You can establish that. OneNote is a good one. So OneNote basically tied into your team, and you can utilize these applications across across your team and with your members to make you guys more productive. All right, so let's create a team. I'm going to click down here, join or create a team. Gives you two options here, create a team or join a team. So basically, create a team is creating one, establishing one from scratch, joining a team with a code. So if somebody in the organization already created a team, they can create a user code to invite members to that team, and they would just send that out to you via email. You can copy and paste it, and you'd be able to join a team. Okay, so create a team. I'm going to name this team Company Spring Picnic. Okay, and if you wanted to add a description, you can punch that in there. Purpose of this team is to establish guidelines for the company picnic taking place May 10th, 2019. No alcohol, or yes, alcohol is allowed, or it's going to be a barbecue, it's going to be catered, and just build a description in there. Next tab underneath that is you have a choice of making it private or making it public. So if this was for your company, I would probably prefer to keep it private. And you have choices here to create a team using an existing template, which that's possible, or creating a team using Office 365 group. So if you had a group already established within Office 365 for your organization, you can basically just click that and punch all those names will be automatically added to that group or team. Okay. So now the next screen is add members to the company picnic team. So I want to add Deepika. As you can see there, her name pops up. And so she's already established there. So let's just say I wanted to add a guest. All you got to do is type in their email. All they need is an email to be a part of this. So for instance, my email for Marquee 360 is jarrell@marquee360.com. My personal email is jarrelldugo@hotmail.com. So I would click on that because I want to add a guest. That's my goal here. So here I have two participants within this team. Click on add. As you can see, Deepika is a member. I can change her to an owner. So now she's an owner with this team that I just created along with me. And then also my personal email would be registered as a guest. Hit close. So as you can see here, the team has been created. As I mentioned, the channels are underneath that. Those are the subcategories. So general is always the default channel associated with a team. Oh, wow. So you can see here, I just got a message from Deepika. Hello, Jarrell. Thanks for adding me. Awesome. I'm going to reply back. You're welcome. So if I wanted to add more channels, click on the ellipses here. So let me cover this. Here's an option to manage the team. So basically, that just allows you to change the name, just basically rename the team and the members, change the members who are in the team. Add a channel, so I'll click on that. So we'll call this channel, let's say, Food Committee. Actually, dining options, I'm going to call it. Add. So as you can see, that channel's there. So basically, that channel would house and maintain and discuss all issues concerning the dining options for the company spring picnic. And you can just continue to go down and add more channels. I can add another channel called entertainment. So do we want a band at our company picnic? Do we want a DJ? And we can just build from there and continue to do subcategories to plan out our company picnic. So I'm going to go back to general, and you can see the thread and information is being recorded here and saved. Up here under the tabs for general, you'll see conversations, you'll see files and wikis, and you can also add more tabs. So conversations, like I mentioned, is going to continue to document who's a part of this, who's communicating. Files is an area, as it mentions, to basically save all your documents and files to this channel within this team. You have the options for new, upload, get link, add cloud storage, and open SharePoint. So a good factor, a good item to know is that for every team that you create, it creates a library within SharePoint. So all that's going to be, all the information, all the documents, it's going to be saved on SharePoint as well. And that's a form of redundancy. So let me upload a file. So I'm going to upload company picnic agenda. Uploading one file. Voila, you see the Word document has been uploaded by me, Jarrell Lugo. So it records the information of who put it there and the size of the document itself. So if I wanted to go in here into this document, as you can see here, document gives you the option to edit. And as you can see, it opens up Word Online that's tied into your Office 365 account. Oh wow, I see Deepika's in here already because she's part of my team, and she just updated this data item as outside. So basically, we're going to be meeting for registration, coffee, and networking at an outside location. And as you can see here, she's editing the document, and we can both edit at the same time. It's a living document online within Microsoft Teams. That's a pretty cool feature because I'll give you a quick scenario that I endured, which I did not enjoy when I was in college at Hawaii Pacific University. We basically had a lot of group projects going on, and because it's Hawaii Pacific University, majority of the students were located all across the Pacific Rim. So when the instructor put us into teams for these group projects, he would basically grab somebody who was located in Guam, and then somebody who was located in China, and then somebody who was located in California, and then, of course, me, I was there in Hawaii, and he would put us all together, and we had to utilize an application called Blackboard, which Blackboard was not very nimble. It was very tough and to communicate and difficult, and we didn't have this ability to edit and utilize a living document at the same time. So basically, we had to work on a project or work on a document report and then email it to each other once we were done. And it just created a lot of heartache, and it's a tough scenario all around for us. So if we had Microsoft Teams back then, I mean, I would have loved to have had this product. It would have been great. But definitely, from my understanding, with all the new updates and the way the product is being pushed, Microsoft is pushing it more also to academic institutions. They have some programs to basically train students on how to use Microsoft Teams, which is great, because it'd be really beneficial to those students. Okay, so I'm going to close this document. As you can see, it's been saved. Information that we just did the edits are here. So you can continue just uploading documents. I'm going to do I'm going to add another tab here. So this is a good area to cover. When you add a tab, it gives you this option to add basically other applications and services to your Microsoft team. As you can see here, we have all the Microsoft products listed. We have other services, Flow, Freehand, WebEx, Adobe. I believe altogether there's about 220 services and applications that you can integrate with Microsoft Teams. SharePoint. So I'm going to click on, let me see, Freehand. Install. Okay. So it wants to connect to my Office or my Marquee 360 account. Yes. And I'm going to hit save. And as you can see here, Freehand has been installed as a tab. It's a great application basically to document and design. If you want to design apps or just create visual pieces of information that you wanted to show your colleagues, draw. You can also make straight lines. And you can also do circles, text. So basically, this is a good resource if you had a whiteboard session with your colleagues. But you can continue to add more tabs depending on what you need to accomplish your goal or your project with your colleagues. Great stuff here. So let me go back to my PowerPoint. Okay, so you're basically utilizing a hub for teamwork, collaboration, integration. As I mentioned, you have Office 365 products, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, OneNote. They're all built in, they're all integrated and associated with Microsoft Teams. I mentioned SharePoint earlier. Power BI can also be integrated with Teams to create those reports, analytical identification items. You can also associate Planner with it if you wanted to plan out tasks, who's going to accomplish what, when, suspense dates. You can search for people across your organization. You can search for files, search for chats. They're all in a persistent thread, as mentioned, that saves the history of it. Ad hoc meetings. You can initiate an instant ad hoc meeting, or you can schedule meetings. I'll be demonstrating that after this slide. Guest access, which I just demonstrated by adding myself as Jarrell Lugo at hotmail.com, my personal email address outside of our organization here. There's public Teams, so you can utilize that for your city council. You can utilize it for schools, PTA, parent-teacher conferences, to get the parents involved, let them know what's going on, send them meetings. If there was an emergency meeting, your kid was acting up, all that can be associated with and processed through Teams. As I mentioned, Teams is tied in and is part of Skype for Business. So you can do voice and video chats and meetings as well. So it's a great factor if you want to get a hold of somebody and you need to communicate with them other than using IM, Instant Messenger. So I'm going to go back to Microsoft Teams. I'm going to set up a meeting. So schedule a meeting. Just going to call it Company Picnic Update. Do that, yeah, Microsoft Team meeting today, and at 1 p.m. If I wanted to put more details, purpose of this meeting, create an agenda. We want to get an update of where we stand with the company picnic. Where's the catering standing at? Where's the entertainment committee? How far have they gotten with their tasks associated with our company picnic team right there? And then I can invite the Pika. Click on her name and hit schedule. She would get this. It would integrate with her Office 365 account, notify her that 15 minutes before the meeting, that you have this meeting that's about to take place, and we can all communicate and collaborate and work out the details of our company picnic. Pretty cool stuff. And as you can see here, like I mentioned, this is your calendar that's documented and recorded. Okay. The search bar. So if I want to search for a file, company picnic team, click on that. It'll take me to the company picnic, general tab there, and then I can search for the Pika. Basically, it was showing me our interactions, our communications that we just had today. Also, a cool feature is there's short list commands. So basically, I can type this command, call, and then the Pika. And if I clicked on her name, it would call her. Instead of going through the call here and finding her information, basically it's just a quick shortcut if you prefer to type the information in instead of clicking on it. It's to everybody's preference, but this short command list basically can search for stuff, history. There's a series of commands which I can show. Basically, it's a bunch of short list commands that help you out to navigate throughout the Microsoft Teams site. Okay, customizable teams. So you can tailor the channel, the color of the icons. That's a cool thing. If you prefer to have your colors and your icons more color coordinated to what your organization's colors are. The tabs as well, they can be color coordinated. Connector models. So basically you can create notification and connector models. That goes into bots, which basically, if you want to create a notification that speaks to or notifies you if an individual is done editing or updating a document, you can create that, establish it. It will send you a notification to your email, or it can also pop up a window at the bottom of your right-hand screen saying, Mr. So-and-so has completed his updates within an Excel document or a PowerPoint presentation. All those are definitely something that you can look into to help you out, be more productive with your team. You can create different channels as I demonstrated, tabs. Customize those channels and tabs, and get updates, which goes into the notification, notifications I just spoke about with the bots. Security. So security is a big factor these days, and everybody wants their information to be secure. You hear all the stories about hackers and about China hacking into corporations and organizations and stealing information, stealing data. Microsoft Teams sits on the same security framework as Office 65. So basically, you're going to be secure from the same data that's secured there. It utilizes the global hyperscale cloud. It also utilizes HIPAA. It has built-in information protection, so basically your information, and if any personal information is sitting on Microsoft Teams, you can basically, through the Admin Center, upgrade the security features to create a higher level of security. Accessibility features, so basically you can give basically permissions of who can access what on a need-to-know basis. If certain information is confidential, you can update that information within the security settings on the Admin Center. It's Tier C compliant, which I believe Tier C utilizes SOC 1 and SOC 2 levels of security. Data is encrypted at all times, at rest, and during transit, which is important. So if you're sending information through Outlook or sending emails or forwarding a document, all that information is going to be encrypted and safe. You can also initiate a multi-factor authentication. So basically, right now people utilize a password, username to log into a system. You can basically upgrade that to a password, username, and a token. So once they get on the home page, they can request token. Token can basically be sent to their email. Type in this alphanumeric digit along with your email, along with your username or password. And basically that's a higher level of security to allow you to sign into Microsoft Teams or any of the Office 365 products. Okay, so here's a bunch of roles that basically you can utilize Microsoft Teams for. Sales, that's a big one. Basically identifying customers who have talked or basically are impressed with your company's sales or products. Get information, document it, save it on deals and mentions from customers. Information on what the newest products are, newest news. Basically, it's just an area to collaborate there. Marketing, basically documenting your campaigns, your events, working on those, updating those, saving them within the team. Like I mentioned, it's a collaboration and integration workspace. So you can also use analytical tools to identify those items, what's working, what's not working. Project management, big deal. You got a project you're working on, definitely utilize resources. You have all those in one workspace, one area, and you can identify what tasks are completed, what tasks need to be completed. Sharing files, and again, I keep mentioning collaboration, identifying the deliverables, what's been delivered, what's not, who's QA'd those deliverables. And again, just keeping the stakeholders of the project up to speed of what's current and what's not. Engineering is another big factor that you can utilize Microsoft Teams with. Basically, engineering you can allow each other to stay on top of what's going on, what version of the architectural documents are updated, as-built and blueprints. And customer support's another factor. Basically just sharing information of how many individuals you've assisted, what kind of problems your company's having, who's calling in to complain, who's having issues, and who's calling in to basically speak highly of your company and organization. So at Microsoft Teams, we provide 2 to 3 day planning workshops. First day would basically get you familiar with what's going on, how to utilize Microsoft Teams, a deep dive into it, chats, creating your team, establishing your channels, basically making you more productive, showing you how to utilize your apps. Another part of that first day would be integration with your Office 365 platform and components. That goes into your applications, how you're tying those in, and also your conceptual design of your productivity business format network. Second day, Going back into a little more chats, teams, channels, taxonomy, and governance. How you want to control your teams, how you want your people to interact, guidelines, rules, security, access, best practices. We can provide all those to you. And also onboard support. We want to make sure you have what you need to be successful. Third day would basically be just rolling out training for additional users you have within your organization, creating a communication plan, and also quarterly health checks, making sure that your Office 365 platform along with Microsoft Teams is operating to peak efficiency. Okay, so I want to thank everybody for definitely participating. Are there any questions on your side?
Hey, Jarrell. I did notice some questions via the chat panel that we can go over now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. The first question is actually from Tom, and he asked if Microsoft Teams will replace Skype for Business. And keep me honest here, Jarrell, but yeah, the answer is yeah. Eventually, their Teams will be replacing Skype for Business. That's the plan in the future, but right now Skype for Business is still utilized, and there is a sort of a Skype-like interface within Teams. Is there anything you wanted to add to that, Jarrell?
Yes. So yes, eventually that is the plan for it to replace Skype for Business. I believe right now Skype for Business is the life cycle for it is extended to 2024. With Microsoft, that could be pushed out a little, another year or two, but who knows? But definitely, I would advise everybody to start migrating over to Microsoft Teams.
Okay, thanks, Jarrell. The next one is from Michael. Where is the data stored and how is it kept secure?
So basically, it's all cloud storage data within your Office 365 account. And it's kept secure through the basic framework that I had mentioned through on the security slide. So the HyperCloud security and the SOC 1 and SOC 2 security settings, but that's all that's maintained within there. It's all integrated and associated with the Office 365 framework and cloud security settings.
Okay, great. There's another question from Frank. What limitations does a guest have in Teams?
Limitations, so I can cover a couple really quick. And on Microsoft Teams, you can have up to 2,000 or 2,500 members at this point for a team, and then within one chat at one time, 50 members. Those are two limitations. I know Microsoft is looking at expanding that to basically meet the demands and needs of bigger, larger teams.
Okay, great. Another question. Is the new library created per team or per channel?
It's created per team. The new libraries within SharePoint, that's what he's referring to, will be created per team.
Okay. How many members can a team have?
So at this point, a team can have 2,500 members. Out of that 2,500, only 500 can be owners. So they have the God-given right to edit, delete, and remove people and all that. The rest of the individuals would have to just have view rights and access rights.
Okay, great. Is Teams available for Mac?
Yes, it is, because it's in the cloud. So you can access Microsoft Teams through a MacBook or any other Apple product.
Okay, great. Oh, and we have one user that wants to schedule a 2 to 3 day planning workshop for their marketing department. Jody, I'll reach out to you. As long as you're registered for the webinar, I should have your email address. But if you want to shoot me a quick email, it's Mike, M-I-K-E, @marquee360.com. I look forward to speaking with you. Let's see. Lindsay wants to know, can you manage permissions granularly within a channel.
Can you repeat that?
She wants to know, can you manage permissions granularly within a channel?
So basically, an owner, yeah, he can manage the permissions. If depending on, there's only certain permissions. There's read, write, and then there's owner. So you can manage those three typical aspects of the permissions.
Okay, great. It looks like that's all the questions we have.
Awesome.
Gerald,
No, definitely. I want to thank everybody for participating, and this was a great experience, and I look forward to future webcasts with you guys. So.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for your interest. I'll be emailing the recording. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. This way, we will be uploading content on a regular basis, and you will get notifications immediately when that content is uploaded. And we look forward to speaking with you soon. Thanks, guys.